fellow storytellers. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a muddy or sludge texture. So first off, we're going to delete our default cube, then add a plane. Then we're going to go to shading and create a new material. Then we're going to go to Shift A and search for Mix RGB. Then Shift A again and look for Noise Texture. Control T for Node Wrangler, and then output the color to the, my mistake, I'm forgetting one step. Shift A to add a color ramp. Then you output the color of the noise texture to the factor of the color ramp. Then output the color of the color ramp to the factor of the mix RGB. Then output the mix RGB to your base color. Make one of your colors in your mix RGB darker than the second color output so that you can tell the difference on the viewport window. Next, you edit your color ramp to your liking. Me personally, I'm going to add another input. I'm going to make this a little darker here. And then, also, don't forget to change the mode of your color ramp to ease. Then edit to your preference. I'm going to edit the texture a little bit. Make it a little bit less roughness. Add a little bit of detail. I'll make it. And then move this around a little bit. Okay. Next, we're going to put in another noise texture. Then Control T for Node Wrangler. Duplicate the color ramp and do as before. And duplicate the mix RGB node from the first row. Then output that mix RGB node to the color 2 if it is the lightest of the colors on your first mix RGB node. Then edit to your liking. I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Put a little bit of detail in there. A little bit of roughness. Alrighty. Now I'm going to move these for organization and for clarity. Then Shift A and search for bump. Output your bump map to the normal input of your principled BSDF. Next, you are going to do Shift A, search for color ramp, duplicate that color ramp, then Shift A again, and my mistake. Oh yes, Shift A again. Sorry, got my thoughts mixed up. Shift A again to search for Mix RGB. Output the first color ramp to the factor of the Mix RGB, and output the second color ramp to the color 2 input of the Mix RGB. Then output the color of the Mix RGB to the height of the bump. Next, put the first noise texture color output into the first color ramp that you created for the bump map, and put the second in the second color ramp that you created for the bump map. Then adjust to your liking. I'm going to adjust the strength of the bump, the distance. I'm going to do that. A little bit of smoothness. Increase the strength a little bit. Change the color of this slightly. Just add a little bit and adjust it to your liking. I am going to leave it there. Now we can mess with the color of our material. Personally, I'm going to go for a little bit of a dirt texture. I'm going to go for a little bit more of a dirt texture. Mix a little bit of green in there, darker green. Then down, there we go. There we go. Then we're going to fiddle around with our color ramps so that make it look right. Zoom in a little bit so that we can get a little bit more precise. Adjust. A lot of this is just going to be adjusting, so we can make it look the way we want it to look. Alrighty. Next, you are going to do Shift A for another color ramp. Then you are going to duplicate this mix RGB node, output this color ramp to the color 2, and we're going to make an exact duplicate of what we made down here, except slightly different. So we're going to then duplicate this color ramp, and then put this into the factor of the mix RGB, and then output that to the roughness of the principled BSDF. Then you output the first noise texture to the factor of the first color ramp, then output the second noise texture to the second color ramp. Then you are going to change this from white to black so that it could be more reflective, then edit to your liking. Personally, I'm going to do this in the Cycles engine. Make sure to set it to GPU and denoising if you wish. I need to move the light over here. And then edit to your liking. I'm going to edit the reflection maps of this. Add a little bit more. And what this is doing, this is adjusting the shininess of your texture. Move your the light to the point of which you are able to see the adjustments of the color ramp. Then adjust to your liking. And there we go. There's our muddy sludge texture. Thank you all guys for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.